Hi guys, it's Shane here again from the GSI family. Neil and Vicky, my wife Tara, are here tonight. If you can see, it's a bit echoey. It's because I'm literally, it's quite a hot spot. I'm here on my own, so there's no one outside. There's a lantern set up over there, but I just want to come on my own and stand here. I apologise last time about the signal was quite bad, but it will upload automatically afterwards. And I'm not sure if someone's been smoking in here, but let me just show you. Can you see? Mist. Like, I think somebody's probably come and smoked in here because it's just mist everywhere and it's hard to pick up. Look, can you see it? It's just so weird, and it's really warm inside here. It's just, they've blocked it off because it's dangerous, but it's just basically stairs, and it just goes to nowhere. I just thought I'd stand in here for a bit, just to see if anything happens. Because when we've come in here before, we have had quite a bit of activity. We've heard monks apparently somewhere here, so I've been told. Not tonight, but in the past. But it is saying the connection's weak again, so you probably might not be able to pick it up very well. But let me just have a look. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Rachel. Let me just like this. So I'm just writing a message, so I'll just 1 second. Signal is weak, so it. Right, I've just put that comment on just so you know. The signal's quite bad here. It says it's a weak signal, so I will just keep going until it eventually cuts off. But I'm live in Spofforth Castle. Someone's walking towards me with a cig. I can just see a cig and nothing else. He's taking a picture of me. Neil. You see him flashing. He's flashing at me, but not in the way I want him to. It didn't smell of anything, but someone has had a vape, by the way, Rachel. You know, the electronic cigarettes. So possibly, I'm not sure if that's anything to do with it. If you go in there, Neil, yeah, there's like a mist just lingering. But I don't know if that person who had a vape went in there. It's really warm as well. But yeah, it was just. Is it still there? There was just like a mist just lingering. I think it's probably gone now. It's very weird. I couldn't smell anything anyway. It wasn't definitely not cigarette smoke. I don't think anyone had been in here for about 5 minutes before, but this is basically the servants' area. I can show you what it used to look like anyway. If you can see. It was that originally, and then it got bigger, and then it got really big, and we're in this part here now, and obviously that's the servants' area, and then the rich people. Well, basically, if you can look at the top windows, there's like a ledge. That would have been where the floor was, because there's no roof. There's a roof part at the other side, and that's the full moon again over there. So that's where the owners of the castle or manor house would have stayed. And then that over there, there's Tara over there, my wife, and then just 2 IR cameras set up. A moth going on over there, that's not an orb. And then, I'm not really sure what that, it's just a fake candle with an LED in it from the looks of it. Neil's taking pictures of me while I'm taking pictures of him. But By the way, one of the comments I made earlier in the video, that wasn't our opinion, by the way. That's one of the EVPs we got from the spirit, what actually used to live in this house. Because in the history, you can breathe in. Possibly me, but I'd have to listen to that back. So thank you for letting me know, Rachel. But in the past, the Scottish, because we're probably about 3 or 4 hours drive, well, obviously in a car, but back when this was a working castle, they wouldn't have had anything like that. But it's probably a few 100 miles away, Scotland, but they did siege down here and take over and basically take all his possessions. So that's the reason why he doesn't like the Scottish very much. So I just wanted to explain that, because I know we had someone Scottish commenting saying the spirit wasn't very nice, and yeah, I suppose if someone broke into your home and took all your possessions, you'd probably be a bit annoyed as well. That's basically what happened. And then eventually, they're all having a photo shoot down there. Eventually, he did go up to another castle in the Northumbria area called Alnwick Castle. This is Henry, who used to own this place, and that's where his life ended, unfortunately, in a battle again against the Scots. And his son, who also were called Henry, carried on to live in this place for quite a long time afterwards. And I believe it's one of them two, both Henry de Percy, so they've both got the same name. I believe it's one of them two that actually is quite an intimidating character in here, when he does tend to get in your face quite a lot, and weird things happen. If you see some the piggybacking each other, that's my wife and Vicky. She's from the GSI North East, and she's Neil's partner. She keeps him in check when he's messing about. But that end one, what they were both stood on, people have been pushed off of that before. So if you come here, try to sit on that, because people have been pushed off. We tend not that one wasn't paranormal, but yeah, we tend to get quite a lot of activity around here. And also in this would have been some, I'm guessing, I don't know if it was a main entrance or not, but this is quite a lot of activity in here. And there's some stairs that just basically go up, and then it just goes to a field. So I'll go up. If I fall, it's quite slippy. Someone call an ambulance to Spofforth Castle if I do, anyway. It's good having you a lot behind me, because you'll be able to find out. But yeah, it's just a bit wet, the grass. But this is it from up here as well. And if you can see on the roof there, the wall, can you see how there's some lines? That's where it used to extend out. That was the roof line before. So, and if you look over there, the turret's still there. I'll walk around to it. But the turret's still actually there. That's where one of the owners of the I think it was Henry's wife, she fell or jumped or was pushed, and that's where her life ended, basically. So like I said before, if you search for Spofforth Castle ghost, you can actually see like a weird lightning thing just there, and it's in the daytime as well, which is pretty cool. And you tend to sense you're being watched from there as well. Sometimes we've taken quite a lot of pictures and things like that, and people have managed to get weird things in there. Hi Jackson. Man, I want to do something like this with my team. I may get us to save up some money and do an international tour. Yeah, would be pleased to show you around, mate. It's there's a hell of a lot of history here. In the town where I live, which is about 40 minutes away from here, I've got Pontefract Castle, which is a royal castle. Oliver Cromwell, which is a very famous person in British history, he basically demolished the castle, but he's still partly intact. We've got a battlefield where 26,000 people died about half an hour away from my home, between the War of the Roses between Yorkshire and Lancashire. And then we've got 30 East Drive as well, which is literally 5 minutes away from my home. And you've all heard about 30 East Drive. I think Nick Groff is going to be doing a programme on 30 East Drive on his new show, what he's got coming out in America. I think it's possibly airing on Halloween. But if you see here, this is where the extension bit was. So I'll go back in now. Hi Neil and Shane, looking good. Where's Lady Jan? Is that Andrew talking, or is that actually Jan? Jan's not with us. She's in Whitby tonight, and if you're from overseas and you don't know where Whitby is, it's one of the coastal towns. Again, very historic, and that's actually where Dracula, you know, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Whitby Abbey and all that area, that's where it's actually set. There's a Dracula museum and all sorts of things, Dracula Hotel. That's basically where the most famous vampire supposedly came from. But whether you believe in that sort of thing or not. It's Ming and Andrew. No, it ain't. You're the good looking one out of us lot. Did you enjoy your soup, mate? Andrew made some really nice chicken noodle soup earlier on. He sent me some pictures and made me very hungry. I'm just walking back in now. Got Vicky taking some pictures over there. And I think the majority of the guests are all in this area. They're all the guests of Paranormal Encounters UK. They're not anything to do with the GSI guys. We've just been invited along. Sorry about my breath, by the way. My asthma's playing up a bit today. Well, there's some activity there. I'll take you. The purple light's because it's an infrared. It's basically a wireless camera with the antenna on, powered, and then it's sending over to, you can see the screen over there behind them talking. And in here there's
come this way again, that way.
This is back where we started. That's where I was just looking down from a few minutes ago. So I'm back in the main room, and if you can see the shape of the windows down here, and you can see how the shape of the roof was circular, and again circular there. I'm not sure what it was, but was some pretty historic pillars or something here which were holding something up. But to me, I'd say it's some sort of chapel or something. You can see where the wooden beams was. I'm not really sure. So my wife and Tara and Neil, sorry for blinding you. You alright? Had you experienced anything? And Vicky's flashing, but unfortunately not the way what we want.
I was speaking to Michelle earlier on. I was symbolically given an image of a male who would have been of authority, would have been maybe the man of the house, and symbolically I was shown he was stood next to a fireplace next to a large portrait, which was the symbolic connection to this place. He was of authority. Who he was, I don't know. But there was another man who was shadowing him, and he was in some kind of uniform attire with sashes going across his uniform or his wear, and I feel he would have been like someone like a soldier or a captain, something like that, someone looking after him wherever he went. His posse followed him around, and the gentleman I described, Michelle, has had the same experience tonight with that same guy. She's aware of him as well, so we're both linked into the same person here.
With the thorns between the two roses, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is that what we've got to say that until?
Yeah.
We'll wait till they disappear, and we can say what we actually think.
Yeah.
Do you want a divorce?
Just mute.
Yeah. You've never seen Tara before, by the way, my wife. She comes on some of the investigations.
She's
but
out more on Halloween than she is any other time.
yeah, it's socially accepted then.
Yeah.
She's not happy. She's shaking her head. But yeah, she does a lot of the background things with me. She sits there and because I get quite distracted, so she actually sits there and watches all the footage with me and then starts nudging me. Shane, did you not see that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I was looking at my phone.
She's your eyes and you're the ears.
Yeah, yeah. She's the one what keeps me in check, and then
By the way, guys, Tara's an excellent cook. She made a cottage pie once, and the council came round and condemned it.
sitting on his fat shoulder. So yeah, as you know as well, Neil's.
Sorry.
There you go. We're gonna kiss some makeup now. I'll give him permission.
It's all right.
But,
I'll ask for healing.
yeah, Neil had an operation on his shoulder, and she just slapped him on it. It was only about a month ago. Yeah, yeah. By the way, you probably know by now Neil's. Yeah, he's shocking
What
jokes.
she said, I have a feeling something's been said about me.
No, nothing at all. This is the person what makes Neil well behaved as much as he
Well, I
possibly
try.
can. This is, you know, Vicky
She's
anyway.
another one who's nocturnal and comes out on the 31st of October every year.
Too right. Your best car's a broomstick.
Hi, Nicky. Well, I'm guessing that's Vicky, but you know what Mr. Typo's like.
It's all right. I'll go with Nikki tonight. That's fine.
He's all right. He's got cystitis in his neck, can't he? That's what I said yesterday. Yeah, I know. That's what. But you know, when I was trying to think of the name of what actually was up with his neck, the word cystitis came to me for some reason, and I thought, yeah, I don't think he's got that. Yeah. Laugh out loud, funny. It's funny. Who, me or Neil? Because believe me, we've heard these jokes about 100 times.
Yeah, but Shane, you keep laughing at him though.
Yeah, I get in
That's
trouble
what,
if I laugh.
makes him worse.
Yeah, I
Now,
get in trouble if I laugh at the
Regarding
jokes.
Vicky, she made a shepherd's pie once, and it was that fresh. The shepherd's pie was that fresh, it rounded up the peas and buggered up.
Yeah, he's just done that one about Tara with a cottage pie, but she slapped him on his shoulder and forgot. But
You've got a bit better.
she's not that best a cook, to be honest, though.
No, she is. She's associated with a cook, me being cook. I bought a cook book once and she couldn't use it because the first page said take a clean pan. She couldn't use it.
Oh, don't laugh at him, please.
I'm not laughing.
I'm
Sorry.
not aware.
Yeah.
She chopped a mouse up once in a bar of soap. I said, what's that? She said, bubble and squeak.
Oh God, he's off again with his jokes. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, it just goes to show we are in an active location, but sometimes you can still have a bit of a laugh. You've got to take it seriously from time to time. I've just walked away for a bit of peace and quiet, but you have got to take it seriously most of the time. But you do have a bit of a laugh as well. And to be honest, when you are all stood, actually having a laugh like that, you tend to actually encounter more activity because you're giving a lot of positive energy out when you're laughing, and the spirits is going to pick up on that and use that. That's when we tend to actually get things happening like bangs around us, and they want to join in. They're laughing at what you're laughing at if they understand what. Obviously, our jokes is probably going to be 200 years in advance of what they've ever seen in history, but if we're all laughing and happy, it can rub off. It's very infectious laughing. So I'm just going to sit here now. It's basically just a room. Here we go. Just sit down and have a chill out for a bit to see if anything happens. No one else is. I'll just turn the front facing camera on so you can see. No one else apart from a camera. There's no one in the next room either. They're all the way through in the main area. I think someone's walking through now, but so if anything does happen here, like behind me or anything, then potentially. Don't be sorry. No, I'm not. We do have a laugh, but once I was in the other part of the castle walking through here. Tara and Andrew, because it was just literally us three what came, they were both just stood where I'm sat now, and wow, that's a lot of love arts. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough, but they were stood here listening live to the EVP recorder with some noise cancelling headphones, and they actually picked up a spirit saying it's Shane just as I was walking over. So we have been quite a few times, to be fair, so whether they know your name I don't know, but quite freaky. But this is just sat here, and hopefully someone will come and do something, I don't know. But if there's anyone here and they want to come and communicate, I have opened myself up tonight. I'm willing to communicate. I won't get freaked out. I mean you respect. We're here just to basically prove there is life after death, and we want to see if you've got a message to tell us or anything like that. So if you want to come forward and make some sort of audible sound, or basically show your face here over my shoulder or something, if you can do something, make some sort of sign that you are here, it'd be pretty cool. Because this device, what I've got a torch in this hand, but this device here is actually recording what you're doing. It's basically putting an imprint of everything that happens on, as you can see, my face on it. So if you stand or make a noise in a close range to this, it should be able to pick you up, and the people who's actually watching at the other side of this, they should actually be able to hear it as well, and they'll let me know, because sometimes people at home who's watching this can actually hear things better than I can. So if there is anyone here and you want to say something or come and touch me, push me, nothing too violent or anything, but if you want to come and say something, I really appreciate it. We're here with respect. We don't mean you any harm. Can you make some sort of knocking behind me or something like that? And as you, both of my hands are full, so there's no way it would be able to be me. But and just show you that no one is in here, just in case anything does actually happen. But to be honest with you, it's not been the most active I've ever seen the place tonight. But I'm not really sure. And again, just to remind you, is that a Malteser? I don't know. I didn't see it, or I'd have been on the floor trying to get it. I think O2 Jackson. Sorry, I was just reading the comment, but nothing's happened so far. But I'll just sit, because sometimes you can be sat for a while, and I'll just keep talking. If you're happy to watch, I'm happy to do this. I've got enough data on my phone, so if you see anything appear behind me or anything, don't tell me or I'll start running off. No, I'm only kidding. This is what I do. This is what I love doing. So it'd be brilliant to be able to see something happen, and I really do want to thank Paranormal Encounters UK for inviting us guys along. They are a really good group. So if you ever do want to go anywhere with them, I will be tagging them in this, so you'll be able to check out their page, give them a like, give them a thumbs up, and hopefully if you're local, they are a good group. They do quite a lot of old school things, what I'd never tried before, like the human pendulum, and they have got 2 working mediums as well, which is pretty cool to see them both bouncing off of each other. And I don't know if you're aware, yes, it's their event. They've invited us GSI guys along, because we know them. They're just a local group from a couple towns away from where we live, and everyone seems to get on here. There's no competition or anything like that. We just all help each other out, and that's just how it is. That camera's just gone off now. That's weird. It must have run out of battery or something. But yeah, there's no lights there. Rachel, it's pitch black. Oh yeah, there's no Yeah, I'll turn the light off and show you. I've got a head torch, but I've just got it in my hand so you can see. But you can see obviously from my phone screen, but I'll face that forward now so you won't pick up the phone screen. And that's, if I point upwards, you might slightly be able to see the sky. But so I'll turn the torch on just to show you what I'm, and turn it back off, and it is pitch black. So if you want, you can see me from my phone screen. I'll leave the torch off, and as you can see, this is the room area again, the main open area. Well, Neil's coming through now, but there wasn't anyone here, so hopefully something might happen. Anything happening through there?
The guys is doing something to doing it. Oh, there's a bat.
Oh, a bat just went by then. Just wait for Robin, and we've got Batman and Robin. Oh, Vicky and Neil are both here. I'm just sitting in here alone, see if I can get anything to happen. Nothing so far. It's pretty cool. I'll turn this back on so you can see Vicky and Neil as well now. I was just showing them how dark it actually is, because it's... Well, that looks... Yeah, that's from the outside on Neil's camera. I don't know if it's focusing very well, but it's...
No flash and manual focus.
It's a very nice camera though. It's a very expensive camera. It's, Neil and Vicky are very good photographers. They do that as... what is it, a job or a hobby? Or it's a job, in it, aren't you? You're doing a wedding soon, aren't you?
Next week.
Yeah. They're both photographers as well. So I'll just move this down because he's taking pictures. I don't want to spoil his picture. But what did you say they're doing next door?
Like they're doing a seance or something like that. They're all stood around and connecting with spirit.
Do you want me? I'll take you through actually, guys, and I'll show you what's happening with the rest of the group. Obviously, when things are happening, I'll stay quiet because I don't want to distract them or anything. But I'll just take you through and let you have a look at what's happening. So I'll put the front-facing camera on now. There you go. So. So say a few words.
Yeah, if I was a state, but yeah.
Don't matter.
About the horse in there.
Sorry?
When my mum mentioned about the horse in there, we didn't know that Sally and Neil had also said about the horses. At the time, we were just talking now. And that's really weird, it was in there, wasn't it? When, yeah.
Right, it's a bit like Blair Witch.
Yeah, it's fine. I look a state because I look like...
I'm going to tell you a story. I'm only kidding. But, yeah, this is, well, actually, sorry, they're both called Hayley. But it's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
As you can see, she looks exactly like her mum, Michelle. And I don't know, I've not seen you side by side with your mum, but...
You say we look alike.
Yeah. Both of them are Hayley, and your mum's Michelle, your mum's Sally, and and they're both from Paranormal Encounters UK, and both of the mums are mediums, and you're very sensitive as well. But both of you, I've witnessed you both. Yeah.
All I've done is cry all night. Literally cry my eyes out. I've done it over there like 2 minutes ago.
I keep getting a lump in my throat as well.
I literally,
crying.
I witnessed a little boy watch his mum getting her head cut off. Literally, I saw it and watched the mum
In here?
in here.
Yeah.
The mum went in the kitchen. She stole food for her and her son. She got caught by her boss, I think, obviously main kitchen staff. The boy was then with the mum.
Yeah, so I feel like they need to.
And then I obviously got the girl that got from the tower. She didn't jump, she was pushed. She was murdered, in other words. She was pushed deliberately.
Well, yeah, but actually that's quite interesting, because when we picked up on something similar when on our a GSI one, and when we basically. I've showed you the turret earlier on where she fell from, but we did actually say, because we got Mr. De Percy, her husband, speaking, or possibly her son.
What we got was, I stood there and I kept getting pains in my chest. I felt that she had a back to the, obviously, not entrance, but the gap.
Yeah.
She was arguing with whoever.
Yeah.
He then, I think he had an affair. And he didn't want anyone to know, so he pushed her, he killed her. Then someone saw what happened, so he blackmailed whoever saw.
Andrew says hello.
And Andrew is joining us live through Facebook as well. So everyone from, well, apart from Jan, is here tonight now. So hi. You all right, mate?
Yeah, spot on, mate.
Yeah.
Spot on. Very cool work in the morning.
You've never seen Andrew? He's meet Andrew. Yeah, he's
But
the
what we got in that tower, the EMF meter confirmed, so we know for a fact it happened.
yeah.
Of tower.
Yeah,
But
it's
we're absolutely freezing.
we had an EVP similar. That's what I was saying. When we asked him, did he push her? He said beautiful memories as a response.
He
That's,
killed
so
her. I don't know if it was a husband or I don't know, but he had an affair and he pushed her to say, look, no one's going to find out I've had an affair. So I don't know, maybe if it was the wife or his mistress, I don't know. I'm thinking more he had a wife, but he killed the mistress because she was going to tell the wife what he'd done.
Yeah.
That is what I'm thinking, but that when we said she was murdered and he blackmailed, we then got an EMF meter to confirm what happened.
Nikki Miles says hi.
Hello.
And Rachel, she's from America, I believe. She says hello, ladies.
Hello, hello.
We've got quite a lot. In fact, we've probably got more fans from America than we have
Really?
actually in Britain.
It's good worldwide.
I think it's about 60-40.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
out of the
We should come over
3,300.
and do an investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some offers to be put up over there and
Well, I
things.
want to go and
It'd be
help.
pretty cool.
Go and help the boy pass over now. So.
Yeah.
Oh, from in
We're
here.
good. We're
Yeah.
going to try
Oh, well.
and get the boy to pass over so see his mum
Yeah.
now. So it should be quite good.
Do you want to see that? We're going to help one of the spirit children in here actually pass over. I think it's in distress from the sounds of it, so it's pretty interesting. But yeah, that's pretty cool that another group and this is literally right in history, to be honest with you, because another group's basically come and got exactly the same as someone touched my hair then. Weird, but they've literally got exactly the same as what we've got through different devices and through their mediums rather than ours, and we got it through EVP and things like that, but we've not released it. Sorry, we've not released it yet, but that's what's pretty cool about it, when other groups come in and get the exact same thing, and it's not even published data. As far as everyone's concerned, she committed suicide when she... I'm going back in here to show you now. If you can see up there in the turret, that's where she fell from, apparently. But two groups have now picked up on the same thing, that she possibly was pushed. And when we will release that EVP as soon as we possibly can. Andrew's had a few problems with his laptop recently, so he's sorting that out, and then we'll be able to get back on with some EVPs what we've caught, because we've got some pretty cool ones. And that's one of them from here. When we asked him if he pushed her, and all he responded was beautiful memories. I don't know what that means, but I'd say that's a confirmation that he didn't really like her. I'll just take you on a bit of a walk around. I'll stay quiet now, guys, because I don't want to distract what they're doing over here.
Alright, you'll be good now, see you soon. Have you got your arm around there? William? You're leaning on me, William. It's okay if you are. Are you tired, William?
Do you know what it is who you're picking up on? A small boy called William.
Is your brother and sister here, William? Or are you on your own? You on your own?
Yes, it is a Ouija board.
Are you happy being on your own, William? William, are you happy being on your own? Or do you prefer it when your brothers and sisters are here? Do you like playing with your brother and sister, William? Yes or no, please? You're still here, aren't you, William?
We wish you were as well, Andrew, mate.
You're still leaning on me, aren't you, William? William, have you still got your arm around me? It's okay, yeah. I'm quite happy with that.
Has he been saying anything?
William, can you
just random
confirm what
things.
year you died? Can you spell it out in the numbers? You told us earlier. Can you tell us on the board, please? Can you tell us the numbers of the year that you died?
So if I'm blinding you with my torch, it's not got night
Can you do
vision.
that for us, yes or no? Yes. Can you move to the numbers of the year that you died? I'll say the year, can you... Oh.
What's it spelling
Go
out?
back to the middle and try again.
Is he part of the actual family who own the castle, do you think, or one of the servant family?
His mother worked as a cook.
Yeah. One thing possibly then as well, he might not actually know how to read or write, so that might be why you're not getting anything
So William,
intelligent through.
can you confirm the year was 1565 when you all died, when your family died? You told us that earlier, yes or no? 1565. You still like... No? Have you changed your mind again?
It might not be right.
Is that still William? William, he's still here? You told us earlier it was 1565, is that right? Are you just playing? Are you playing with us again? Yeah. Your sister was called Ellen, wasn't she? Can you confirm that again for us?
What we say, Rachel, by the way, with Ouija boards, they're just basically like any other form of communication, like the voice recorder, like a dictaphone, or like the K2 meter, or any other form of communication, what you're trying to get with spirit. This is just basically an older way to do it. So the Hollywoods probably make it a hell of a lot worse than what it actually is, to be honest. Probably, I'd say there'll be probably thousands and thousands of people doing this. It was actually invented as a kid's toy, but maybe not even 1% of things will actually bring through something demonic. It's just not very likely. And what we say about negative spirits, as Neil's said numerous times as well, you basically are the person who dies has the same personality as the spirit. So if they're a very happy, jolly person, they're going to be a very happy, jolly spirit. But if they're pretty grumpy, a grumpy old man or something, then they're going to be pretty grumpy in spirit as well. And that's the majority of the negativity sometimes. And also, sometimes if it's quite a traumatic death, or possibly something where it's very sudden, they might not actually know they've died, and again that might make them quite angry, because why are all these people in my house? Similar to what possibly one of my theories on East Drive, the person who died in the toilet lived in the house back in the 70s, I think. I'm not sure on the exact dates, but he died pretty suddenly in the toilet, so that possibly he's getting a bit just angry or something. So it's not necessarily demonic or anything like that. Neil and Vicky I'll change the camera around. I was just explaining about what you said about Ouija boards before, that they're just basically...
all they are is communicational devices to contact spirit. No different than a K2, Malmeter, Ovulus, anything like that. you're going to get no more attachment with a Ouija board than you would with a K2 or any other device. So, and like we always say, you were saying, why the hell did someone want to follow you home and to your house and watch Jeremy Kyle all night long? I mean, they belong in this place for a reason. They're grounded here. Yeah.
That'd be Jerry Springer for you, Rachel. You won't know who Jeremy Kyle is.
He is. He's done USA.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
He's just basically a chat show where he just gets embarrassing families on who's my brother slept with my dad and also my mum
and my cousins, my mum and sister too.
You know, basically you've seen Jerry Springer, how ridiculous some of the things are on there. That's what Jeremy Kyle is.
Hello, Andrew.
Yeah, he's
doing my job tonight.
He's actually been on this live stream.
Yeah.
He went through on Facebook, yeah. And then I showed him on the screen.
They're doing a barbecue now. They're serving up hot dogs and burgers and stuff. They put a big spread on the have, so we'll eat for you.
Yeah, sorry mate, we're having a hog roast.
Spit roast.
Spit roast, yeah.
Let's just...
I'm not saying a word, yeah. Sorry, we're trying to be quiet over there and he's talking rude. Luckily we do say if this is strictly an over 18s sort of thing. And it's one of the rules really, over 18s, no one pregnant, because obviously if you get pushed over or something, and also no drugs, and the only spirits involved will actually be dead people rather than alcohol. We will never ever allow alcohol on any investigation ever, because it's basically affecting your head in a way what shouldn't really happen. So you're going to be more overly emotional and things like that. So that's why we ban alcohol on any investigation. Never a hip flask or anything like that with a bit of Jack Daniels in. So I've come over here now because I've stopped laughing. I'll head back over. We'll see what we're doing. I'll be quiet now because I think they're doing some sort of seance. Because they had a break earlier. So I'll go see if we can see what's happening over here now.
Forward.
You're watching Hayley at the back, Michelle with the blonde hair, Sally and Chris in the yellow, and they're from Paranormal Encounters UK, and they're all very sensitive. Michelle and Sally are mediums for the team, so I'm not sure what they're doing, but I'll just let you watch.
Stand in front of me, picking up. Alright, now just follow the light. With only a 12. That's right. can go now. Everything will be okay. Going. Listen. Go on. Come here, you. All right. Good shot. Good shot. Right. Yeah, right now. You're right. You sure? Yeah. Most of it's quite right. It's horrible, isn't it? It's not actually horrible.
Quite emotional. They're all literally crying. I think they've been helping other little spirit children pass over. That's why they were quite tense. So they're all just recovering now. It does get quite emotional when you're quite sensitive and you're using all your energy to try to make someone pass on. That's quite an intense thing to do. So that's why everyone's quite upset now. I think the child was quite distressed from the sounds of what they picked up on, these two mediums. So just explaining to them what they've just been witnessing. They're basically helping a spirit child pass over.
Yeah, she's left in limbo in this location, and obviously she needs to move on to the light. Not all spirit children and the elderly are aware that they've actually passed over, and they tend to get grounded in a location. Obviously what the medium has done, Michelle, she's helped the child move over to the light and onto the spirit world, and obviously the energy and emotions used to do this, it's quite upsetting for some people are more sensitive to this than others, and obviously they're just composing themselves now after that little upset. But yeah, we know this spirit child's in the right place now with her loved ones, and she's reconnected with her family.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I've come over here rather than going and talking to him or anything. It's very it's draining, physically draining when you're connecting to spirit. Neil's already explained to you about paranormal hangovers and things. The only way I can really describe it is basically like jet lag, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Just, you know, when you basically when you're travelling east, that's when you always get jet lag.
Yeah.
And
time shift.
Yeah, and it's similar to that. Obviously, there's a number of factors involved in that. It's you're up a hell of a lot later than you normally are, unless you're a vampire, obviously, like Vicky and Tara. But there's also you using part of your brain you don't normally use on every day because you're opening up to spirit and things like that, and it's just physically draining, isn't it?
Well, we talked about this on the live stream the other day. When we come home from work, are we physically drained from our work? Are we physically drained because we're sensitive and we've picked up on the empathy of everything else within the room, the work colleagues you're working with, and are these people draining you? And I don't mean that disrespectful, but any sensitive person will actually absorb the atmosphere within the room, the sensitivity which is in the room, and obviously other people's problems and trials and tribulations. So obviously you're carrying that with you, and unless you know how to clean yourself and clean your chakras and get rid of all this negative energy, then obviously it's attacking you as well. So yeah, we don't always come home from working, kick our shoes off and put our slippers on because we're drained from work. It's normally the universe as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on at the minute. Neil's been explaining to me, because he's basically mentoring me, I'd say, about the chakra thing, where I basically imagine myself. Should I be telling people? Yeah. I don't know.
Just unlocking.
Obviously, you just basically open yourself up before investigation, but obviously you need to call your spirit guide to protect you, because you don't know what you're going to connect with if you don't know the place where you're going to investigate. So I won't really go into it too much, because you don't want to be doing that if you live in a very, like a plague pit or something like that.
Which we're going to soon as well.
Yeah. Is that private house?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a private house. Hello, Rebecca or Bex. I can't say Becky, can I? She keeps telling me off for calling her Becky.
Okay, Becky.
Yeah. I'll see if they've recovered, to see if they want to have a little chat about what we experienced when we were doing that, because it's not something I've personally been involved with before. You alright? Yeah. It's on that. I was just saying, do you want to talk about how you felt when you were doing that? Because it was quite. We've just been explaining, me and Neil's explaining what you were doing.
Yeah, once I send spirit to the light, it was a little boy, 5-year-old. What we do is we join hands, we send light into the middle of the circle, and we encourage the spirit. They don't always want to come, but this little boy was a bit timid at first, but he came to the circle. And what it is, when we send spirit to light, it's like a beam of light that goes up to the universe, and the boy just eventually went up, and that's when we all got emotional.
What does it feel like?
Well, when we've encouraging to come into the circle, the spirit goes through me.
Yeah.
So it's like a gush straight through me and out and into the circle, and everybody will have felt that gush.
Yeah.
And when his arms were lifting up, they were allowing him to come in there. Like, it was easy if I was in to come through that way.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it? But,
Yeah, I got it.
It's not something I've ever been part of, so it's just very interesting to watch, and everyone's got to see that firsthand now, exactly what happened.
We were all emotional, because you were a young boy at 5, it's nearly emotional. We send children to the light.
Yeah, I didn't show all that, I just walked away because I didn't want to come and shove it. Why are you crying?
You made me jump. What's that?
You shouldn't be jumping at that here. Yeah, it's on, yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
Don't worry, I always swallow flies and things. Somebody's asked me if I'm going to swallow a fly tonight. Because you've got this in your face. And then the flies always come along.
I'm probably scared them all after death now.
No.
See me up close.
We'll be fine. You can watch it back. I've shared the first one.
Have you?
Yeah, to your page. So I'll do this one when it goes down.
Putting that on?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. So a few people got to see a Ouija board for the first time. They've never actually seen one.
Yeah.
So they've obviously in Hollywood and things.
To see that sort of thing and what goes on these investigations.
Yeah, definitely. That's what's good about paranormal encounters. They use a lot of different things to what we use, and it's interesting to see. And I really enjoyed taking part in the human pendulum last time, and my own relative came through. Michelle gave me the reading.
Your granddad's with me still, shit.
Yeah, he's apparently always with me all the time, and she's not the first medium to pick up on that as well. So it's never met him. He died before I was born, but
he's still with you.
Yeah, so they've said old school. Yeah, it's a bit.
But
if they didn't work, we wouldn't still be doing that sort of techniques, would we? It's unbelievable. Right. Skeptics has felt themselves being pushed in the human pendulum and thing. Yeah. Jason said he felt himself being pushed.
You do.
So that's what's good about it.
You're right.
So thank you anyway.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I'm just blinding myself while I'm trying to walk. I think we possibly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly, Chris. That's why it's something we'll be we'll be trying on one of our investigations at some point, the human pendulum. If it's a woman in the middle, you want to be positioned at the front, because then obviously they land on you in quite a... I'm only kidding, that's rude. But yeah, I was the person stood behind, and I don't know if you're aware of what a human pendulum is. There's basically one person stood in the middle who just basically stands and closes their eyes and just gets really relaxed, like I do when I'm trying to open myself up for spirit to communicate. And if you then basically, similar to any other method of communication, someone stands in front, someone stands behind, and then you basically ask the spirit to push the person forwards or backwards. They're literally a human pendulum. So forward for yes, backwards for no, or forward for red, backwards for blue, whatever you want to ask. It's got to be two answers. But then, as long as you're open to it and you're sensitive and you're not trying to fight it, you will feel yourself being pushed if the spirit's got enough energy to do it. So it's very cool to watch. Where's the pandas? He's at home. Yeah. He's at home watching. He's watching from home. He's in work very early in the morning. Unfortunately, he works a hell of a lot harder than I do. Anyway, I hope my boss isn't watching. But yeah, he works some very, very long shifts. So if he came tonight, he'd probably end up getting sacked at work tomorrow. So I'm just going back into them stairs again, just to see. The mist's gone now, so I think someone was probably smoking in there. I wouldn't like to say paranormal. Not when I know people were in there, and then I saw someone with one of the electronic cigarettes. So I wouldn't say it was paranormal. And it was very warm in there as well. It's quite a cold night, but I stupidly came in shorts. I don't know if you can see. I'll just take you on another walk around, and then I'll end the stream then. I'll just find Neil and Vicky to get them to say night as well, and then I'll go walk through. Attention. Yeah, say night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Say night, Tara.
Bye.
Right. Yeah. Right, I'll walk through here and I'll end it. And then I just absolutely love when you're in places like this and you can basically just be on your own for 5 minutes and just sit and just soak up the atmosphere. And if you know then for sure, if you hear a bang, it's possibly paranormal. But when there's a big group of people, obviously you tend to rule it out a bit more. So it's just nice. I never feel really intimidated or scared, but to be honest, the most intimidating night everyone. Yeah, the most intimidating spirit I've ever come across actually is in here. So I'm probably being a bit risky on my own, because he does tend to get in your face and get quite intimidating. But he knows I've got, if you can see, thanks Rebecca, because you're the one what actually gave me this. I have a crystal, it's a clear crystal, and I have a solid 925 silver cross as well, which apparently they're the things you need for protection. But to be honest, I don't know whether the protection side, because I ask my spirit guide for protection anyway when I do a bit of a protection prayer, opening and closing an event. So I don't really know if wearing a cross and things like that's more a mental thing, that you've got it in your head that it's going to protect you. So obviously it's going to protect you. A bit like if you think you're going to get an headache, you actually will get an headache. I'm not really sure. That's another thing I probably like to think about, demonic possessions and things like that. I think the majority of the time, it could be more of a, you think it's happening rather than it actually is happening. So especially with how Hollywood makes everything so dramatic and horrible, which is similar to what we experienced with the Ouija board. But it's a very quiet place on a night. It's lovely. It doesn't cost a penny. It's just open. It's the National Trust in the UK. They always take over historic locations. There's quite a few dotted about all over the UK. So if you are close by, I really do urge you to come. Probably not in the height of winter, because you know the UK weather's shocking. But it's very cool, and we do